Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sit Down and Lockdown. Already have someone waiting to watch, which is great. And the dodgy idealist says, "Joe, get your butt on, man. I'm here. I'm ready." Are you still there, dodgy idealist? You are awesome. Thank you for tuning in. So this is Sit Down and Lockdown, ladies and gentlemen. And as usual, I have a guest. Tonight's guest is the very fantastic, the very, very talented Mr. Russell Fox, magician, insane. He's an illusionist, a magician, a mentalist, all those things and more. Very talented man. Very excited to have him on the show. But before I bring him on, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that you can donate. That's right, you can donate. I take donations for all the performers that I have on my show. So basically, tonight, all the donations will go to Russell Fox. 80% goes to him after proceeds, and 20% goes to me. There's a link in the description below. Please check it out and donate if you can, if you're willing to. And the donation box will be open for the next 48 hours. So on the 23rd of May at about 11:45 p.m., the donation box will close. So please share this video, like this video, tell people about this video. We're going to have some fun. We're going to get to know Russell Fox. Who's the man behind the magic? That's what these magicians always do. You know, they do the hand thing. Like, they also, like, look, I came prepared, guys. I came prepared because I'm going to... Russell might do some tricks. I will just look pretty. All the cards fell all over. All right, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, let's bring him right on and give us a nice round of applause because even though we're not going to hear it, but we'll pretend that we do. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the show, Russell Fox.
Mr. Emilio! Where is Vinny? Where is Vinny, Mr. Emilio?
All right, guys, he does not sound like that. That is a fake
No,
accent.
no. It would be cool, though, right? It would be really cool.
See, I tried to be cool, man, because I have been practicing some card tricks. I got this. I actually found this. This is no joke. I found a pristine new deck in a cupboard,
I
and
actually saw you a couple of weeks ago doing something online. Oh, the man's fanning a deck of cards. We're going to have a showdown. We're going to have a showdown soon. We're going to have a showdown.
I'm coming after you, man.
Buy Starbucks. You should, though. Starbucks should sponsor this. Or maybe Coke. I don't know. Maybe
Joke's on you. It's Dr. Pepper. No, it's Coke. That's also Coke anyway. Doesn't matter. So, okay, so we have some people. Every now and again, I might interrupt just to acknowledge. I like acknowledging the people that are watching. We have already a few people online. Chico, thank you for tuning in, Chico. Doc RSA, and the Dodgy Idealist. Um, the cards are disappearing, though. That's what Chico said. His mind is blown. Thank you for being sympathetic, Chico. And the Storm Legacy says, "Good evening, fellow humans and wizards." Yes, let's get right into it, Russell. Tell us about you, like, because I've called you a magician and you got offended once by that. So you explain what you are.
Well, you know, the word magic kind of in different people's lives or different people's worlds means different things. So I just avoided. Media latched onto this concept of calling me magician insane because of the crazy things I do. I drive cars blindfolded. You were at the Glass Walker Challenge where I walked on a bed of broken glass, 20 meters in length for 36.8 kilometers, 29 hours, my neck's done, frozen alive. I do these crazy things, so they call me magician insane. But I'm a psychological illusionist, mentalist, mind reader, perceptionist. I don't know. There's so many more cooler words than magic. I don't know.
But yeah, that's true. And speaking of the Glasswalker Challenge, which was, by the way, a huge treat to be a part of, I got to MC that event for Russell, where, like he said, he walked on a bit of glass for. You set the world record, correct?
World record.
Yes.
World record, yeah.
Which Guinness book are you in?
No clue. Never looked. It wasn't for that. It was for, I associate, I come from quite a hectic mental health background, special needs schools, epilepsy, asthma, dyslexia, declared uneducable, and I can carry on. So my heart is for people who battle with mental health issues, and I do these stunts for that. So it's endurance, which is physical, mental, and emotional.
Mm.
So it's yeah, and that was for guys suffering, family or people suffering from what was
Autism.
it? Autism. There
Yeah.
we go. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Blind Drive was for blind people, and then Frozen Alive, that's going to be for orphans. So anything associated to people who struggle, really struggle with life, man, I'm there.
Yeah. And speaking about the blind drive, I wasn't there for that, but I've seen videos. I highly encourage people to go check out your YouTube channel. Do you still have a YouTube channel before I?
I still have a YouTube
Yes.
channel. Kind of, it's evolving.
But you do have that drive there where you were blindfolded and you drove.
Absolutely still there. Yep, very
Yeah.
much so. I was
How
up in Richards Bay on tour with a show. Yeah, it was very cool.
how long? Okay, so what was that? Tell us about that. What were you? How long did you drive for? All that stuff.
I myself and a good mate, Colin McFarlane, you might remember there was a program years ago called Backstage. He was Sean in Backstage.
Hmm.
From them, he's one of the top South African actors, travels a lot with local theatre and major theatre shows. Nevertheless, I went on tour, the two of us went on tour with a show called The Shift.
Mm-hmm.
Went up to Richards Bay with it. It was good fun. And while up there, I came up with this idea to drive a vehicle blindfolded for Citroen to promote the show.
Wow.
So it was an activation as well as a stunt. And I took a young local model up there on the ride of her life. So it was fun. Yeah, it was good fun. We still communicate, funnily enough. And yeah, so it's really cool.
Awesome.
And she's doing well. She's an incredible model. She's now done Miss South Africa and whatnot. So
Okay.
don't know if she's won, but nevertheless, so she's still doing well in the modeling industry.
Fantastic. So you drove for how long blindfolded? Sorry.
Wow. It was probably so. It was obviously a safe area to drive. It wasn't in public.
Mm.
Don't drive blind in public. Just don't drive blind, guys. So it was in an area that was kind of kept away from public. We had some people there. It was managed. It was about 4 minutes. So it wasn't super long, but 4 minutes driving blind. That is hectic. One stunt I did driving blind that we never put the footage up because of legal implications was, and I still have it, and we're trying to figure out how to go about it. I actually drove a motorbike, my bike, blindfolded from V&A Waterfront to Canal Walk. That was about 3 years ago.
Sure.
It was called the Live Blind Drive. And then we had an officer with us, and he recommended, don't post that live, otherwise you'll be held liable. But since then, we've now discovered that it is illegal to drive if you're blind. But there's nothing that says you can't when you're blindfolded. Don't drive blindfolded, please. It took 2 years to get that stunt done, eh?
Wow, that's some crazy. Well, no wonder. Again, you're called magician insane. I'm just having a look at the comments. We got a few people commenting and saying we got a Leo Faisley, saying Russell Fox is a legend. Thank you, Leo,
Thanks,
for tuning in. We have Mark Swartz, who's saying, I've got to get you to a corporate meeting with some of the stiffs, appearing like a colleague. Saying you've got to appear like a colleague and then making stuff happen. So you undisguise and you make things happen. I think it could make for a great video. That sounds cool. I would watch that.
Tell him to PM me through Instagram or email me at russellfox@magicianinsane.com.
Exactly. So there you go, Marks. Just DM Russell if you want to make that happen. All right, cool. So when did you first start getting into mentalism and illusion and magic and all that stuff? When did that start for you?
Wow, 24 years old. I was a late bloomer. Was actually in the food industry, qualified chef, working at the Tanga Junction. Hated my job, man. At that point, I actually didn't know I was a creative. I didn't even know what a creative was, bro. and met a magician at Ratanga Junction, and it literally took me about a year to persuade this guy to teach me a single trick. And the first thing he taught me, I wish I could show you, but I don't have a coin here. He literally he gives me an old half US dollar and says, "Learn to roll that over your fingers. Once you got that down, I'll teach you." And for about another year, I practiced that until I got it down, and he started teaching me. So 24, fell in love with it. About 3 months after I actually started doing magic, I quit my job, went up to the V&A waterfront, met my mentor at that point in time up there. He took me up to Primi, said I knew 3 tricks then.
Mm-hmm.
Took me up to Primi and said to me, "Hey, guy, go show the owner a couple of tricks and tell him you'll busk," which is for tips at that point in time, and a ciao. And that month, I tripled my salary from what I was earning as a chef.
Wow. Wow, wow,
Yeah.
wow. Well done. I like that story though with the guy, with the magician that said, "Oh, you need to learn this first." And then because that's like obviously his way of like, if you're committed to doing this, then
Invest. Absolutely. Invest.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is such a Yoda kind of thing to do.
Yeah. Totally. A lot of people want to learn magic, but they don't want to learn it to do it. They want to learn it to know the secret, and that's kind of pointless. You don't really want to. You want to get lost in it. You want to enjoy it. So yeah, commitment, investment, eh? Yeah, and it was a good thing. I was invested, eh?
Yeah. Well, clearly.
The first tricks he taught me, I literally first month I tripled my salary at the V&A Waterfront. Funny, I actually still have an incredible relationship with the V&A Waterfront, and I coach a lot of their buskers. I'm busy with a program called From Busking to Business to help artists understand the business side of our industry.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm aware of that one.
Performing arts industry, for that matter. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, what's nice about magic, I think, I don't know, maybe you disagree with me on this. I have, I have during the lockdown. Obviously, I've started to learn some card tricks and stuff like that. But
yeah.
I enjoy it. I've always enjoyed sleight of hand. I've always enjoyed watching these guys, the way they just, the misdirection always has fascinated me. Always.
I know why.
Why?
Because you're American.
That's a cheap shot, man. Cheap shot. But seriously, I've always had a major respect for magicians, especially because I don't want to say it's easy. It's not easy. Your craft is definitely not easy. It takes years and years and years of perfection and being able to just make everything just smooth. But what I've always envied about magicians is you can stand somewhere, anywhere, and do it. Like stand-up comedy, you need a crowd. You need people to be sitting down. It needs to be quiet. Music, not so much. You can just play music. People walk by. It's okay. You just learn that.
Yeah.
But I've envied that about magicians, is how they can, anywhere, just hey, what's this in your ear? Oh wow, look at that.
You know what, Joe? When I started busking, it was probably one of the most gratifying things I've ever done in my life. And to go from somebody that was walking around table hopping, we'd call it table hopping, you cruise from table to table and do some tricks for tips, to go to street theater and then draw a crowd on the street, blow them away, and then get them to put money in your hat.
Yeah.
That taught me mastering the art of managing an audience, wooing an audience, for lack of a better word. So absolutely, it's been one of the greatest tools. I do team building with it, keynote speaking, motivational speaking. I help people understand their perception, how the human perception works, and it's the greatest tool and gift I have. Honestly, it is really incredible. Yeah.
I just want to address a few more comments here. Chico says, "Man, now I'm sad about Ratanga." Yeah, I know but apparently it might be coming back, but it's smaller. I've heard rumors. I'm not sure because they say that they're going to open in Canal Walk, but obviously now that's not going to happen because of lockdown. But I mean, that was the rumor at the time. And then Chico also says, "Screw it, I'm taking up magic." Yeah, well, so have I.
me, I can connect you.
Yeah.
I can help you make it happen, buddy.
There you go, Chico. And then we have Peter Lauter, who says, Russell motivated me to start my own thing a year ago. What a great guy. And thank you, Peter,
Thanks, man.
for saying such sweet things, and thank you for tuning in. This is actually something very important that I want to highlight about Russell Fox. Because of your own, should I say, how do I say this? I don't want to use the word struggle because but for lack of a better word.
It is a struggle. It was a challenge. Absolutely.
Yeah. You definitely use your powers for good to educate people.
Powers.
No, but like it's true because, like, for example, the the glass walk challenge. Yeah. You were encouraging people to step on the glass, and your whole thing was, guys.
Yeah.
You think the glass is gonna hurt you, but it's not. Like, I remember you saying that, like, you think it's gonna hurt you because you have an association from your childhood where you were cut with the glass, and now you think the glass is bad. But
Yes.
you're in control of the glass.
No, not necessarily, because most people that fear glass.
Yeah.
And please, guys, again, when I'm talking to Joe, don't think that you can go home and walk on a bed of broken glass, whatever it might be, and you won't get harmed. It's not that there is necessary technique, there is understanding. Glass can cut you, but its potential to cut you is super low.
Mm.
And most of the times when you get cut, it's a freak accident.
Yes.
And your first fear of glass is not even created by being cut by glass. It's by somebody else's fear in reaction to you dropping a glass when you're a toddler.
Mm. Yeah.
As I said, I do team building with glass walking, and I help people understand how fears are created through your perception and why, and then I help them understand how to get rid of those fears, how to work through it, and how to process it and get over those fears. And it's amazing. Yeah.
I remember you offered for me to do the walk, and I'm sorry, I was too scared. I'll be honest, I was too scared.
Still do it. We'll still do it.
But you do some insane stuff with, and excuse the pun, but when we did Thunderland, you were doing some of the glass tricks as well, and you were encouraging people. Now, guys, picture this: Russell brings out a cloth which has broken glass in it, puts it on the stage.
What's a bucket?
Yes, a bucket, and then you put the glass on the cloth.
Yeah.
And then you walk on it, you do your normal walk and stuff like that. But then you tell someone, and this is always fascinating to me, you tell someone to come onto the stage, you put your face on the glass.
I don't just put my face on the glass. I lie down on this bed of broken glass. I open my shirt, so I unbutton my shirt, open it up, and I'm lying down with my upper body and my head face down on this glass, yeah.
And you're telling someone to stand on you.
And I always find the biggest person in the audience as well.
I mean, has there ever been a freak accident doing that trick? Well, not that it's a trick, but I mean, just doing that stunt.
No. Look, have I had splinters and have I had nicks? Yes. Have I ever had a nick on my face? Yeah. But, compared to the thought process that's going through people's minds in terms of what they believe is going to happen and the reality of what would happen, it's chalk and cheese. It's so far apart. It's unbelievable. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, in my latest show, Experiments, I mean, I've offered you to open up for one of those for me. I don't only just do glass walking, I do glass eating.
Glass eating? Oh, my word, are you doing that now?
I have people in the audience bring light bulbs.
And you eat it?
And I eat it, yeah.
No, dude.
Right. Yeah.
That's not healthy. I don't know if anyone's told you.
When I go to the bathroom in the morning.
No, come on. Now you got it. Now you got to answer. Because that's the first thing that popped into my mind. If you eat glass.
Yeah.
Is there a trick to it? Like, are you hiding it in your mouth and then you spit it out later?
No.
You literally eat it. Doesn't it cut up your insides, though?
Nope.
Wow.
And please, guys, I'm not saying go eat light bulbs. Don't go eat light bulbs. It's something I do, okay? I'm the numbnut. It's okay.
No.
It's what we call a shock effect, because it invokes maximum expression from people. I play Russian roulette with mobile industrial staple guns.
Yeah, you got my wife to be part of that in Wonderland. That's
Is
good.
that so? Was your wife? I didn't even know.
Yeah. She told me after she was shit scared the entire time.
So
She was so
yeah,
scared of hurting you.
I like things that have maximum risk, but are more controlled than people realize.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's all strategy, it's all perception, it's all persuasion, it's all influence, and it's great. I love it.
Well,
I absolutely love it.
the Storm Legacy has a question, even though he said, sorry, it's for later. In chronological order,
Yes.
where would he put Chris Angel? Okay, so he's asking you basically, where would you put these magicians or illusionists? Where would you put Chris Angel, David Copperfield, Dynamo, David Blaine, and Michael Carbonaro? Carbonaro.
Oh, Michael Carbonaro.
Yes.
You know what? They are so radically different in their styles, their performances, the way they do things. Carbonaro, he's got a show called The Carbonaro Effect, and his stuff is very much organic and related to reality. He's a comic as well. Chris Angel used to play with a band called Something Rose. I can't remember the name of them, but his stuff is very devious, twisted. David Copperfield is the icon in terms of illusionist. So he's a grand illusionist. Angel is a street magician and illusionist. Carbonara is a close-up magician, or kind of streety. And who was the other guy?
Dynamo and David Blaine.
Dynamo, an amazing motivational or inspirational story to him. And he's a street magician. So they are all so different to each other. If I had to mention somebody that I would say I would not necessarily see as a mentor, but somebody I've learned loads from, it's Darren Brown. I love his psychology, his deep psychology, but they're all phenomenal. You can't put them in chronological order. They're all phenomenally talented, phenomenally good. No way.
I'm not a fan of Chris Angel anymore, simply because of what Sebastiano has told me about him. Sebastiano kind of met him once, kind of.
Let's talk very quickly about Darren Brown. There are some things that, for example, when we talk comedy, we say there's a couple of things you stay away from, and one is religion.
Yeah.
Darren Brown went and did something based on religion, so he overstepped boundaries. Chris Angel as well overstepped boundaries. Are they still geniuses in their own right? Hell yes.
Yeah.
Do I respect them as much as I used to? No.
Yeah,
no.
I'm pretty much in the same boat. I can obviously give credit where it's due. They've done amazing things, and they are talented. But yeah, I don't think I would have a cup of coffee with Chris Angel.
No.
The Dodgy Idealist says, "Gotta run, dude. Need to finish my thing. No worries, man. Thank you for tuning in. It was great to have you here. Cool. So let's chat a little bit more about you dabbled in comedy.
Yeah.
Right. So were obviously a magician / illusionist / mentalist before you were a comic, or did the comedy come first?
You know what, I have been, and it's quite funny because, well, not funny, but it's quite absurd. I remember many years ago when I started, I must have been about 25 when I went back to my old school, and I did a show there, and I was chatting to one of my teachers at that point in time, and the subject came up of me being the class clown. I was the funny guy in class. I was the funny guy in school. Humor, I think, for me was a massive crutch because of all the crap I was dealing with in my own head about myself. And I think a lot of comics are like this. Is we use humor to cover it up, to cover up how we feel about ourselves, kind of thing. So humor's always been there. When I got on stage, my first show, wow, you're taking me back in time, bro. My first show was called Live and Twisted. It was my first show that I did publicly, and I did it at the River Club Cafe. It was then called not River Club Cafe, sorry, Ops Cafe Theatre.
Mm-hmm.
Sellout show, which was incredible. Got great reviews from that show.
Nice.
And never did that show again. It was called Live and Twisted, Russell Fox Live and Twisted. Yeah, great show. And the funny thing is what I was doing then, I can't remember the name of the comic that had been booking events there, but I remember a comic saying, it's funny, a kid's magician doing comedy. And I was kind of like, you were damn right, because literally I was doing stuff on stage that was kids' magic to adults. And it was hellishly funny. I had a blast with it, hey? And I think I got to, I know I got to a place where I was kind of like, I wanted to do magic, mentalism, and illusion that was way more powerful. So I set the comedy aside for quite a while so that I could focus on the psychology behind magic. But with experiments, you know, and when I'm out doing motivational speaking with the show, no, humor's fully there, hey?
Yeah.
And it's circumstantial humor. I love improv.
Yeah.
I love circumstantial humor. I love, there's just so much great humor out there that is on the, you know, on the spur of the moment. It's great. So do I script any humor? No, not at all. Not anymore.
Fantastic. Yeah.
No, not
you basically feed off what the audience gives you, basically. You know, and I've
Absolutely.
seen you do that too. You know, depending on like if they say what job they do or you know what they do for a living, kids, stuff like that. So we have a question, which is a very interesting question from Chico for you. What is your view on pickpocketers as an act?
I love pickpocketing. I think pickpocketing is one of the most mind-blowing mediums of misdirection that is alive today. You know, the ability of being able to remove things, and I'm not just talking about things out of people's pockets, taking off ties, belts, without them knowing. I mean, I've got loads of, you know, footage of pickpocketers. I've got a great mate of mine in Germany who's an incredible pickpocketer. I've wanted to do pickpocketing for years, but I don't have the guts.
Really?
I'll do it. I'll do it one day. There's no, you know, but it's incredible. Chico, great question, bro.
Yeah, that is a great question.
When you start understanding pickpocketing, you become super aware of your surroundings. So when I'm out, and when I was backpacking the US and the UK, I was so aware of pickpocketers, what they would look like, you know, their emotions, that you just knew how to hide things on you to protect yourself. Fake wallets, fake, you know, it's unbelievable. These guys are incredibly talented, and sadly, a lot of guys use it for bad, as do people use my industry for bad as well. You know, great question. Thank you.
I think he had a follow-up comment, not question. He said, like Bob Arno, he's just wild. Like, who the F undresses a person without them knowing? Yeah, it's like Russell just said.
Dude, it's absolutely possible. If you understand how powerful misdirection is and what people don't pick up when their mind is elsewhere. For example, if you're misdirected and you're focused, so for example, just an example, if I were misdirecting you and applying pressure on your shoulder, that's your mind's focus. It won't feel you removing a tie. That's what's amazing about it, because they use pressure. They use all sorts of things that your senses just go crazy. So no, it's incredible, and it's unbelievable to watch and see. I've seen guys do it live on the street. London, the most amazing pickpocketers in London, bro. You want to see pickpocketers? Hit the street in London, Covent Garden, Leicester Square, and you'll see amazing pickpocketers there removing items of clothing from random people on the street. It's bizarre.
Wow. I think people are going to go and YouTube and Google pickpocketing now. After that. Chico says, thanks for taking the time to answer his question. Of course, Chico, that's the point of this. Like, you're more than welcome to ask questions on the show. Storm has a question for you as well. Does meditation have a place in a preparation to do mentalism and magic? Guys, these are great questions. Thank you so much. That's a good question.
Before a show, I very much do take time out for myself, but it's I do it for a different reason. Firstly, I go to pray, then I go to take time out for myself because I understand this is when I'm getting on stage, I'm giving. Therefore, I've got to be filled up to give. So I go take time out for myself. You'll never, ever see me in front of an audience before a show because then there is expectation from an audience. So I go chill out somewhere away from audience, just doing whatever I want to do to fill me up, to prep for a show. Often what happens is, for example, when I started touring with Experiments, there were a couple of incidents in the first and second show that I could not predict. We call it creases in the sheet. It happens. And what I do is the show kind of evolves for at least the first 3 performances when you're on the road. The first, then you've got to get used to. So I use single words to remember my entire show. So, for example, orange number, invisible rise, haunted metal, staple, glass eating, motivational, inspirational, and then last one is I forget the last one. Prediction. So I use single words for my entire show. So at any point in time, if I and as I mentioned, I love improv. So I go off on a tangent. I get lost at times, as do you when you're on stage. You go, I am able to come back, recall the last, and then just continue from there because it's single words. So I will go through that before the show as well, and just make sure that I'm calm and chilled out and looking forward to going up there and serving, because my shows are serving. It's not about me when I'm up there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're there for the audience, and like I was discussing with Mark Hayes, I believe it wasn't yesterday, the day before, my last show. As a performer, we go on the stage, we give ourselves. There's always a portion, I believe, that is left on that stage for the audience. It's about them, pleasing them, entertaining them, helping them forget about their problems, whatever it might be, even if it's just for a moment, to make them laugh, or in your case, wow them with insane magic. Sorry?
Here's an interesting thought. What if I put it in this perspective? There is not a single person that sits in a seat to watch a show that doesn't dream they wish it was them doing it.
Yeah.
So we're inspiring them.
Yeah.
We're inspiring them to hopefully take that next step and actually go for it.
That's true. All right, so it's come to the middle of the show, this is where I usually do the game that I told you about, the interrogation game. We like to play with the audience that's also watching. So for those of you that are watching, there's quite a few of you. Don't go anywhere. We're going to play a game I like to call the interrogation game, which I'm going to explain for those of you who haven't watched the show before. Basically, Russell and I have prepared 3 statements about ourselves each. So I have 3 statements. He has 3 statements. One of those statements is a lie. And we will interrogate each other, taking turns to basically ask questions to find out which one of those statements is the lie. Now, I'm going to interrogate Russell first, and his goal is to make sure that I don't guess correctly. He wants to, he needs to lie and make sure that I don't guess which one is the lie. So he has to be...
You didn't send me your questions, man.
No, I will read them before. Don't worry. I won't start the timer until you've told me you've got everything. So I'm gonna use your sentences first, so you can understand and get a feel for it, and then you'll interrogate me. So here are Russell's sentences. I'm gonna read them before I start the timer. We each have 2.5 minutes. So.
Go.
Statement number 1 from Russell was, I got stuck in the UK in Folkestone for 6 months due to 9/11. Number 2, and by the way, guys, you're going to notice a theme here. I was meant to go on tour through the Twin Towers on the day 9/11 happened and left the US early to the UK. Number 3, a girl's sorry, that's a girl I was dating at the time died in the towers on 9/11. Okay, so the last one's quite sad, but um, those are the statements. My 2.5 minutes to find out which one is the lie starts now. Okay. What was the girl's name?
Catherine.
Catherine. Okay. What was her last name?
Don't know.
How long were you guys dating for?
Can't recall.
Hmm.
Oh, how long were we dating for?
Yeah.
I was in a summer camp in the US, and the summer camp was 3 months, and then we backpacked for about a month afterwards.
Okay. Let's see. I was meant to go on a tour through the Twin Towers on the day 9/11 happened, but I left the US early for the UK. I feel like there's not much I can ask there. That's like a decent statement. I mean, well, why did you go to the UK though?
So my brother lives in the UK in Folkestone,
Mm-hmm.
and I'd run out of money in the US, so I was going to go across to Folkestone, where I'd been sending money to my brother, and just go spend time with him. And then Catherine was going to meet up with me in the UK afterwards.
Okay. Now, this all makes sense. Okay, so that makes sense why you got stuck. But why 6 months? Oh, due to 9/11. So you're saying that 9/11,
Lockdown, no flights,
no
and then
flight.
flights were so delayed. After, couldn't get a flight out of there.
Okay, guys, help me out. Ask questions. I don't know what you guys are allowed to ask questions as well. I have a minute left. You're allowed to like help me out or guess which one you think. Give me a number in the comments. Let me know which one you think is the lie. Honestly, you did something very smart, Russell, because it's themed. I'm not a very good interrogator. I think a lot of our viewers are realizing this. Joe sucks as a detective. Well, okay, describe the girl. That's a good question. Describe what she looked like.
She was an Australian girl. She had curly hair, darkish skin. She was a bit shorter than me. I'm kind of about 5'8". So I would say she was about 5'6", 5'7". Very outgoing, very boisterous. She worked, so we were on a summer camp together, and she worked in the department where they made costumes for the shows. I was in a performing arts summer camp, and she was the one making costumes, or part of the group that were making costumes for all the shows. There we go.
All right, I have 5 seconds left. Guys, give me numbers. Give me numbers. Which one do you think is the lie? We
Never ask a mentalist to give you questions like this, bro.
we're getting some comments. 1 and 2 sounds like he was at both places at the same time. Is he Loki? Okay. Then we have. Yeah, I can't ask a question now, but 1 is okay. So we have 1% thinks 1 is a lie.
Yeah.
They make a good point. Or at least I don't know if this is true, but they say that 9/11 flights were only suspended for a short time.
Yeah, but as I mentioned, I couldn't get another flight out of the UK because of delays in flights. So they might have been suspended for a short time, but delays were so backed up because all flights were cancelled for 3 months.
Okay. I gotta make a call. I'm seeing a lot of 1s, so I'm gonna go with what the audience says.
Yeah, they're right. I in the UK for 3 months and managed to get a flight out of there from there. So yeah,
right. That's Chico, Mark, Leah.
But you didn't get it, Brew. They got it.
It doesn't matter. They can help you too. They're gonna help you too when you're interrogating me, so it's fine.
How are they gonna help me? I can't even hear them or see them.
I will tell you what they say.
Yeah.
But yeah, well done, guys. Number 1 was the lie. So Mark, well done. Chico, well done. This audience is so great. Storm was kind of right because he said 1 or 2. So but thank you guys. Leah wasn't right. Number 2 doesn't sound right. Yeah. But hold on. That if number 1 is the lie,
yeah,
that means that you did lose someone.
Yes.
I'm
so I was meant to be going. I was meant to go on tour through the Twin Towers. They used to do a tour through there when it existed, and I was staying in Rhode Island with Catherine, her brother, and his wife. He used to build yachts that they would build in the United States and then sail back to Australia. So we were in Rhode Island with them, and they had booked a tour through the Twin Towers for us. But I'd run out of money in the US, so I decided to go back to my brother in the UK. And I left a week before the Twin Towers, and sadly, Kath, her brother, and his wife passed away in the incident. That's why yesterday I said I had a personal connection to it. So yeah.
I was really hoping number 3 was the lie. I'm really sorry for your loss, man. That's a tough one. That is.
Hey, geez, bro, it's many, many years ago. Yeah. I'm happy as a pig in poo, bro. I've got 2 amazing girls, as you know.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's fine.
All right. Moving on to.
It was a summer dating thing.
Yeah.
You know? It was a summer camp dating thing, and she was going to go back to Oz. I was going to go back to South Africa anyway. So we weren't in love or anything. It was, yeah.
But still, knowing someone, knowing someone,
sad. It's really sad.
Yeah.
A lot of people lost lives there.
Exactly.
Very sad.
Yeah.
Your show's getting dreary now. Eh?
No, we're all good. Everyone's actually giving their condolences to you as well, so they're very sweet. But we will move on to my sentences now. Russell, if you want, you can grab a pen, but I will repeat the sentences at any time that you need, and I will keep you updated with how much time you have left. And I will keep you updated with what the people are saying.
I'm joking. Yeah, cool.
So,
give it to me.
All right, so number 1, my first statement is, when I was a kid, I got attacked by a goat.
Okay.
Number 2.
Yeah.
I once chipped my tooth on the mic while performing.
Yeah.
And number 3, I once got dressed up as Darth Vader for Halloween.
I've seen you dressed up as Darth Vader and whatnot before, so that I would say is too true. Because I know you're an absolute Star Wars geek. So that I would think is true. Being attacked by a goat. Were you in the US at the time?
Yes.
You were in the US.
Yes.
Whereabouts?
I was in Texas. My dad had a ranch, and he bought goats for me as pets. They grew up to be quite vicious. 2 minutes left.
Okay, I believe that. So I'm saying number 2 is wrong. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let the guys comment. Let's see, guys. There's 2 minutes. There's a minute and 45 seconds left. Why is that 3? Why is it that all 3 sound like it would happen to Joe?
They absolutely do. There was one thing about your statement about chipping your tooth on the mic. You said when you were walking on stage.
No, while performing.
Oh, while performing on stage.
Yeah.
So what happened? Did you fall? Did you bump your face against the mic?
I was doing one of my jokes where I have to the komiso joke. So in the komiso joke, I shout really loudly like komiso, and then the one time I was performing it, I raised the mic a bit too quickly to my mouth to continue the joke, and it just hit me in performance. Yeah, it was a stupid thing.
Okay, I think that's the lie.
You think that's the lie? Okay.
Yeah. That's because I can see you having goats for as a kid.
Well,
you having goats.
35 seconds left. Storm says number 2 is the lie. Storm's been watching like every episode, by the way. Storm, you are a legend and the best fan I have of this show so far. You've literally watched every episode. So I find it difficult to make sentences because of this guy. Because I'm like, Storm's gonna watch and he's just gonna know. Not that I don't want you to stop watching. It's a nice challenge because it makes me think. So I have to.
You know how hard you've got to hit yourself in the mouth with a mic to chip a tooth.
Okay.
That's why I'm kind of going. Yeah, doesn't make sense, man.
Well, Mark thinks it's number 1 or number 2. That doesn't help. All right, cool. So I will. You're right. Number 2 is the lie. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
So we tie on that. I did get dressed as Darth Vader when I was a kid at Halloween in America, and then when I was a kid, I got attacked by a goat because I didn't know this, but we had female goats and a male goat, and the male goats and the females were obviously pregnant or got pregnant, and I didn't know that on the day when I decided to go and play with the goats, that the female goat had decided to give birth. So there was baby goats,
Uh,
and the male goat got very territorial.
they get very vicious.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
very.
yeah, it was quite hectic. And then the chip my tooth. My tooth is chipped, not very much though. You can barely notice it, but it wasn't. I actually don't know how I chipped it, to be honest. But but I have hit my mic in on my lip and made it bleed mid performance. That did happen.
On your lip. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
I've hurt myself on stage with a mic as well, but it was also just a lip.
yeah.
Uh, chipping a tooth, bro. Yeah, that's a hard one, man.
Yeah, I probably should have thought that one through.
I checked.
All right, cool. So that's the interrogation game. Russell and I tied on that one. Thank you guys so much for playing with us and trying to guess. A lot of them said number one. So wait. Hold on 1 second, because this is always fun. So you guys think that So you guys thought that I got attacked by a goat was a lie. No one believes that I had goats when I was a kid. I lived in Texas on a ranch, guys.
No, I believe that.
That's how that
Absolutely.
happened.
Yeah, the only one I said was a lie was number two.
Yeah.
I never wavered on the other two whatsoever.
We've got a question here from Mark Swartz. Have you guys ever had a stage epic fail?
Yes.
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 Got booked for my first corporate gig. Geez, like 25, 26, around then. This dude thought he was a hot shot. Got booked to do a corporate gig out in Stellenbosch at a hotel. Went through, got on stage. The entire show blundered. There wasn't nerves just, and the first one failed, and then nerves kicked in because it was my first corporate. And then the second failed because nerves got worse, and it just continued. And
Oh, no.
there was not a single effect that worked. I plowed it all.
Oh, my word.
Gave them their money back, apologized profusely. The guy that booked me could do nothing other than laugh. And funnily enough, they booked me about 6 years later again.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And they've used me once every 2 years ever since then.
Yeah. I don't think I can top that. I've had epic fails, but wait, okay. So this wasn't while I was on stage, but it was quite embarrassing. So I don't know if you've ever performed at Armchair Theatre in Observatory. It's a very small room.
Yes.
So there was one of the comedians performing.
Christian Camp was the guy I was thinking about.
Yes.
There we go.
So one of the guys were performing, and there's like an aisle that people can go through, and then you turn, and the stage is like right there, and you turn and you walk out to the door. And at the time, the stage had these hooks that came out of the stage, and night it was packed. Like there were people sitting on the floor, standing around by the wall. Even the aisle, like there were some people sitting on the floor, so you had to like shimmy through. And then because there's not a lot of space from the first row to the stage, this hook grabbed me while I was trying to get out, and I literally went face first down in front of the entire venue.
Dude, there should have been a piece of metal music played there. Dude. You could have called it stage diving.
It was bad. It was so embarrassing. But I kind of fell first, hit, and then got right back up like nothing happened, and just continued walking. Everybody was laughing.
I fell off stage at Thunderland.
Sorry?
I fell off stage at Thunderland.
Did you?
Yeah.
How?
No. just did. I just stood right on the edge and lost my balance, and that was me.
I didn't see that one. Damn.
Ah,
Oh man, now I missed out.
exhausted, man. We were exhausted. I
Yo,
mean,
12 days.
3 shows a day, 3 workshops. You were emceeing freaking everything and anything.
Yeah, it was yo. It was yo. But the last day, flip man.
I know.
Storm has a good question here. Do you learn more from your failures than successes? Yes, I think so. My opinion, from what I do, yes, I learn. You do tend to learn, and that's the best way to actually deal with your failures is to learn from
Oh
them.
dear.
Yeah.
Connection seems to be bad.
Sorry, are you back with me? Can you see me?
Uh,
We can see you and we can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Joe, connection's just gone really bad for some reason.
It's weird because it's good on our side. We can hear you. We can see you. Um, can you see us? Don't use your phone because you won't be able to reach me. That's weird. Because I can hear and see him now. Guys, this is weird. We're watching Russell Fox right now. Because he's moving. I can see he's moving and the connection is fine. But apparently he can't. Maybe he is messing with me. I don't know. um, yeah, testing. 1 2 1 2 testing testing. Wait.
Absolutely. I'm back with you. Yeah, absolutely. I can hear you. Yeah. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, I can. We've been hearing you for a while now. We never lost connection with you.
I can see you.
Uh,
You're kind of breaking up slightly.
okay.
I can hear you.
Well,
Sorry, I'm just trying to WhatsApp you to figure out if you can you hear me,
yeah, we've been hearing you and seeing you this entire time.
but you can't hear me.
No, we can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, but I can see you.
Yeah. Are you messing with me?
Can you hear me?
Yes. This has become really weird now. when you watch this,
Oh,
when you watch this
oh,
again,
I've been hearing you all the time as well, but you've been breaking up. So yeah,
okay. Well, you haven't been breaking up, so yeah. Um, he's giving me the Darth Vader stare.
you're slowing down.
All right. Um,
Oh, okay, cool. I, I couldn't hear you, but I yeah, cool. So not at all, not at all, sir, not at all, not at all. I definitely, I definitely learned more from my failures. I definitely learned more from my failures and mess ups than anything else. You've got to mess up to learn. In my industry, in the magic arts industry, they say practice it till you never get it wrong.
hmm,
I disagree with that. Take it on stage and mess it up, and you'll never get it wrong again.
yeah, that's true.
Right? Because if you get it wrong, you learn how to correct it.
Yeah, that's true.
And if you know how to correct it, then you've got something better
Hmm,
than trying to work on something till it's so perfect you never get it wrong.
hmm,
Dude, that's probably the biggest load of crap on earth
hmm.
because everything goes wrong at some point in time. You've got to learn how to save it. It's like when you go to the ocean and think you're never going to drown, you're a dumbass.
That's true.
Learn and understand what to do in case of that scenario. Don't panic. I do snorkeling, so it's one of the things that you learn is when you're underwater. The first thing you do is don't panic.
Yeah.
Same thing on stage. Don't panic. It's a mess up. Doesn't matter.
Hmm.
Fix it up. Yeah, absolutely.
I agree with you 100%. The only way to learn is through your failures. And like when a lot of people have asked me on the show, like, oh, what do you do when you die? Or how do you handle death? You don't be sour about it. You learn why, what the problem could have been. Maybe you said something, performed it differently. Maybe it was just this does happen. Maybe you just didn't have a good crowd. And you learn from it. You learn to adapt. You learn to read the crowd. You just learn how to improve yourself as a performer.
Completely.
Yeah.
And you're always doing research. You're always coming. Even when I have a fantastic show, I come away and I credit my own show, and I ask others to credit as well.
Yes.
A lot of time audiences will be sympathetic or empathetic.
Mm.
And I would rather an audience come up to me afterwards and go, Russ, that was rubbish.
Mm.
If it was rubbish, tell me it was rubbish, and then tell me what I can do to make it better.
Mm.
Because if you think I'm up there for me, then I'm wasting my time.
Yeah.
I'm not up there for me. I'm up there for you as the audience. So the better I serve you while I'm up there, the more you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah.
But my most what's the word I'm looking for? But my biggest focus is to get up there and have fun. End of story. I want to get on stage and have fun. And if I have fun, then I do know one thing. Even if I do make a mistake, others are still going to have fun because I'm up there having fun.
Mm. Well, that's the thing. Chico says that he failed and never went on stage again. Definitely not the poster child for learning from my mistakes. Now, I know Chico. He used to run the open mic night at Stellenbosch in Anklas. And I keep on telling him, dude, come back to the stage. You cannot be on the stage one time and then think...
No,
And
you can't.
then think like, oh, you've learned everything you need to know, and
No,
you suck,
no.
so therefore you're gonna suck. No, everybody was shit the first time they went on stage. I was shit.
Yeah.
I was terrible. I was. Oh my word! If I look at some of my footage from way back when, I'm like, oh no, what am I doing?
Yeah.
You learn. It takes years.
Yeah.
You've been in this industry for how long?
And you continue learning.
Exactly.
You can't tell me that there isn't a time that you get on stage that you don't learn and you don't work on getting better. It's constant. You will spend your life learning, and if you don't, then get off stage. But Chico, bro, get back on the stage, man.
Sorry, it's kind of ironic because he's actually a musician. He's a talented musician. He performs in a I don't want to say band because it's not like a rock band, but I think he plays the flute or he plays something like a sax or something like that. And he has a band that he performs or used to perform with. So he's used to being on the stage. I mean, he might not be the front man, but he can be on the stage. He studied music, and I find it quite ironic that he can't get on the stage and do comedy.
So watch this. Watch this. I've been playing music since I was 4 years old, but I cannot get on stage and play. But I can get on stage and do magic, do comedy, do motivational speaking, do keynote, do team building. But get on stage and do this. Different story. See, sometimes we'll do things. This is for me. It's not for anybody else. It fills me up. I love it. And it fills me up. And it's not something I necessarily want to do for others,
Although a magician with a ukulele, there's something there.
Oh, dude. Absolutely.
He answered my question as he plays the trumpet. That's the instrument.
I've been writing. I haven't written a song in maybe 16 years, and I picked up the uke. Megan, my girlfriend, bought it for me for Christmas, and I picked it up a couple of times during lockdown. I could play one chord. I've now written 3 songs.
Nice. Well done. That's cool.
Oh, yeah. Which is epic. Love it.
Well, now Chico says comedy with a ukulele. Now, why don't Chico? You know what I haven't seen is comedy with a trumpet. So if you're good with the trumpet, bring that into your comedy. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. You are the director, producer, writer of your own show when it comes to comedy, and same with music. You can write your own music and perform it how you want. So,
Chico, there's a comedian. I'm going to drop his information to Joe, and Joe can send it on to you. This guy is an incredible musician, and he writes incredible comedy around his music. start watching comedy musicians and familiarize yourself with them and the system and so on. But get on stage and try and fail and try. Here's a quick tip. Have we got time? Have I got time to say something to him quick?
Yeah, we can go a bit over. It's fine.
So, Chico, here it is. Watch this, brother. Most of us spend our time worrying about what other people think about us. Here's the biggest secret of all. If you're sitting watching, worrying about what others are thinking about you, that's exactly what they're doing. They're sitting worrying about what you and everybody else is thinking of them. So the truth is, nobody is thinking about Chico at all.
Yeah.
Nobody's worried about Chico. All they want is when Chico gets on stage to perform is to have fun. That's it. So when you get on stage, know that nobody cares if you mess up or not, as long as you have fun.
Exactly.
That's the biggest gift I can give you, brother. Whether it be on stage, on the street, in theater, doesn't matter where. Get up there and have fun.
Yeah.
Point blank.
I agree. 100%. Absolutely correct.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Chico, I'll see you back on the stage soon.
You're breaking up again, but I assume you can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear and see you just fine.
But I can't hear you for some reason. I don't know why the reception from your side is this bad.
I don't know if he's pulling a magic trick again or not.
You're doing robot moves for me.
I don't know. Can you see me now? Can you hear me now?
You need to stop drinking before the show. I can't get.
All right, we'll give it a few moments. I'm gonna sway like this. Sorry, guys. Frickin' internet connections. I'm swaying. Are you laughing at me because I'm swaying now?
Yeah.
Chico says Joe had a mental breakdown. All right. So in closing, before like I told you off air, I usually give the guests a moment to just give their final wishes to the audience that are watching. But I thought what would be cool. You said you had prepared one trick for us.
I haven't prepared anything. I'm actually going to try something with you. Yeah.
All right. Cool. So let's try that quickly. Hopefully, we don't have a bad connection. And
cool. I showed you a deck of cards earlier. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Good. And what I've done is I've reversed one card in this deck. So I've got one card the wrong way around currently. Yeah.
Okay.
And during the course of the show, I've been trying to influence you. Yeah.
Oh, crap, here we go.
I've been trying to influence you to try plant that card in your mind.
No.
The funny thing is, watch this. As I said this and as I showed you the deck of cards, a card came to mind. So you already have a card in mind.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I do.
It's breaking up again. So
I do have a card. I do have a card in mind.
What?
I do have a card in mind.
It's breaking up again.
I do have a card in mind.
I'm getting some Brad broadcast going on here.
Wait. Okay, hold on. Was that the card? No.
You're moving in slow motion. Just waiting for it to settle. Well, so what's the card that you got?
Do you want me to tell you what the card was?
Yeah. The Jack of Spades.
Yeah, that was the one that popped up in my mind.
Any reason why the Jack of Spades?
You just said card, and that I don't know why it just popped up in my mind.
Cool. So the fact thing is, one card, the wrong way around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just one.
No. What? Oh, how does he do that?
Power of suggestion, bud. So throughout the show, I was doing specific movements to try plant this in your mind. Yeah, and it kind of successfully worked.
Wow, that is awesome. That is awesome. Well, can we get
Thank you
a
so
round of
much.
applause, please? Hold on. I got an applause sound check here. Here we go. Yep, that deserves a round of applause. Well done. Everyone
Thank you.
is definitely impressed with that. I get comments coming in. Dig damn. That is awesome, man. All right. So, in closing, do you have any
Yes.
final words for our audience as we say goodbye?
Absolutely. We kind of briefly touched on it, and this is something that as mentioned, I do motivational, inspirational speaking and keynote and whatever it might be. And this is something I want to leave you guys with that are watching here. So, as mentioned, I was born with a massive amount of insurmountable issues that the medical and psychological industry said there is no ways this dude will overcome it. I was told I would never read, write, work, drive. I have ADHD, mild form of Tourette's, epilepsy, asthma, and the list carries on. Yeah, but I've overcome it all. Every single one of them. You know my story, Brew. And I want to leave you guys with this. If I can overcome it all and get to the point where I am today, and so can you. Absolutely, so can you. So whatever it is that you're battling within your mind, and that's the biggest gift. I'm actually busy doing a video called Magic Saved My Life. The biggest gift that I was ever given by God was understanding the human perception through being a magician, mentalist, and illusionist. Was the greatest gift for me. And if I'm able to change my own narrative, so can everybody else. So yeah, that's kind of what I want to leave with everybody.
Cool.
I mean, you're more than welcome to hit me up via Facebook. Just Google Magician Insane. Instagram is @magician_insane. Join my mailing list. Come find out more about me and ask me a million questions with pleasure.
Okay, one last question because Peter has asked this question already before, so I
Yes.
think he's desperate for me to ask it. Russell, if that is his coffee brand from Experiments, ask Russell if that is his coffee brand from Experiments.
What, the coffee I'm drinking?
The coffee he was drinking, yeah.
No. I'm just, I bought the cup up in Durban. There's a Starbucks up there, and I had some coffee up there. Hated their coffee, but loved the cup. I knock cup in the last 5 weeks. I think I've broken about 7 cups. So I use this one. I'm not joking. It's ridiculous. I'm a coffee junkie. I'm an absolute coffee addict. But no, if you know a brand that would like to associate with, and it's a cafe theater show. So yeah. Right. If you know anybody that would like to partner with the show, hit me up. Would love to. Absolutely. I'm actually looking for a coffee sponsor.
Awesome. Fantastic. All right, Russell, I'll chat to you just now. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Russell Fox, magician, insane, illusionist, mentalist, an all-around fantastic, great guy, one of the nicest performers I've ever met in my entire career. And him and I have worked plenty of times together. You can see why I love chatting with Russell. He's such a down-to-earth guy. I want to thank everyone who tuned in tonight. Peter Lauter, Chico, Mark Swartz, the Dodgy Idealist, and Storm, and so many other guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please subscribe. Please share this with anyone and everyone that you know. Remember, donations are still available. You can go to the link down below and donate 10 Rand, 2,000 Rand, well, it's up to you. And the donation box the donation box will stay open until the 23rd of May at 11:30 p.m. It closes. So please if you share this, people can still donate even after the fact. So please let people let's just share it and tell people that they can have a bit of a laugh, have a bit of a smile, and also that magic trick or that trick that Russell did at the end was quite impressive. So people need to see that. That was wild. I'm not gonna lie. Anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you're wondering what's happening tomorrow, I have a roast edition where I bring on some. Oh, that's the wrong artwork. Sorry, guys, but there is a roast edition happening tomorrow, where we roast each other. Fellow comedians roast each other, and it's a whole lot of fun. And if you know anything about roasting, it gets quite rough. So if you have sensitive ears, I do not recommend it. But if you're okay with roasting and you're okay with under the belt humor, then tune in to that. That's every Friday. I do a roast with new comedians all the time on the show, something different that we're doing, and just blow off some steam with each other, because you guys also get to roast us, make fun of us, and we obviously roast you back. So ladies and gentlemen, tune into that. Next week I'm sitting down with some interesting people. I have Chris Wyatt on the show again. We're going to talk about 9/11, and there's many other shows. Just subscribe to my channel and you'll find out all the details. So thanks again for tuning in, guys. If I don't see you tomorrow night, enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you at the next one. Good night.